If you are looking for cheap, safe, and reliable FC24 coins as well as other game currencies, game keys, gift cards, and more, take a look at u7buy.com. Doing so via the link in the description would really help me out. Hi there. I got asked about the custom tactics I use in the comments of one of the latest videos. Real quick, as a short little video, I think I'll show them off here. I haven't touched these in maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. I used to go in and adjust something every play session. I haven't touched these for a while, so they've just been working. I don't actually have much to say about them. Pressure on heavy touch has been working. It's, I guess, part of the, the high press meta. I think it leaves me a little less vulnerable because of how spread out this formation can be. You don't get the compactness of defending in a 4-4-2, so it's having a little bit more aggression, getting your players up the field, and just preventing the easy build-up for the opposition helps a little bit. It's not a big deal. You don't have to play with it if you don't want to. I'm enjoying it more having it on. Width, I used to play it shorter, and then I used to try to play it wider too because so many opponents go down the line, and I haven't found either of them too effective. I'm just leaving it on balance, just kind of let your defense do what they normally do. Depth 72, I tried the 90 for a little while. I also tried down at 50. This just seems to work the best. It's been what's meta this year. Everybody seems to do it unless you're doing the 100 depth thing now. I like leaving it here. The higher your depth, the further forward your center backs actually are while attacking, I think, too. And this just seems to work out the best for the spacing on offense as well. Chance creation, possession, this is probably the biggest thing. Most people do direct passing, obviously. Possession is part of what allows me to play the playstyle that I do, getting so many passes involved, so many players involved in each attack, and doing all my dribbling stuff. Direct passing, if you want to dribble like I do, this is not the way to go because your players are pushing up against the opponent so much more that if you do it, you're not getting the space when they're getting the ball. So doing it on possession means they're actually dropping short a little bit more, and you're able to take a touch or two, some of the time at least, depending on how your opponent's playing, to actually generate space to do a dribble. Width on 40, this has just been the best balance. With the way that the fullbacks and the wingers play, they're generating a lot of width anyway. If you play it too short, I think the midfield's too condensed, so 40 is just what's been working for me. Players in box is probably the one I recommend messing with the most. It really depends on the players you're using. If you need aggression because you don't have very aggressive attackers, or your midfielders are maybe medium-high players, or they're just not getting involved, then you can try getting this higher. I like it shorter because I personally value having the ball a little bit deeper on the field anyway. But if you're finding you're not actually getting many chances in the box, because you definitely don't, you miss some of that. If you do this, you'll have your center mids get involved a little bit more. They'll make more runs into the box. That's something you're looking for. I recommend messing with this one. 4 for me, because I'd rather have them get the ball a little deeper to do a dribble anyway. Instructions, both wings are going to be cut inside, get into the box for cross. I've messed with come short, but that's the one I wish I could use, or free roam. Either of those, essentially kind of the same idea. Those are the ones I wish I could use. The high press meta breaks them entirely, so they're just you can't do anything. They'll cut and field a little bit more and then completely stay stationary and just be marked. So it's not worth it. If you find you're having a game that's really open, you can try having, a secondary tactic of it where you get to experiment with it, because it's really fun in those cases, but I've just been leaving them balanced. Getting behind messes with the involvements you get from your center mids a little bit more, so I like the balance because it's just kind of every player gets to decide what they're doing on their own. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second here. So both wings are the same. Neymar is on false 9. Having him drop back means the wingers get to cut in field. He's not as effective as he is if he was doing getting behind or basic. He would definitely get more chances in the box, but he would be more spread out from all the other players, and I'd rather have it like this. Again, get him the ball deeper, give him space to dribble. You see how effective I can be with that. Both center mids are just cover center, nothing else. You can definitely mess with this, but it depends on what you want from your specific players. We'll talk about that in a second again. CDMs just stay back, cover center, and fullbacks are conservative and overlap. Because of the overlap, and they're just balanced, they're not stay back. Because of the overlap, they're getting wide of the wings, obviously, staying touchline. I get a lot of opportunity to break down the opponent's high press because you're just doing through balls down to the fullbacks. It's part of how this game works. Conservative interceptions helps a little bit with that, so they're not quite being so aggressive when you're out of possession. They track back just a little bit better. They both have intercept plus anyway, so I'm not finding that too much of an issue. I never actually bothered touching the goalkeeper, but normally I'll do comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. What having basically everyone unbalanced, he's not getting into box, he's not getting in behind. Same with the wings, they're not being too aggressive, If you had, say, get forward, get into box, or even just get into box in the center mids, they would push out your wingers a lot, and they wouldn't cut inside so effectively. A lot of your attacks, like maybe 80% of your attacks, you'd have just kind of in the center, your center forward in the center mids, and not your wings. If you value that can work. If you've got like incisive pass or tiki-taka plus wingers, then there can be effectiveness in that, because then you're just doing the get it with the left mid, pass to the left center mid, pass to the center forward, pass to the right center mid, score. Like, that can be very effective. I like having a balance where I'm trying to attack with everyone, not necessarily rely on specific players for every attack. So if I have the center mids on getting box, it pushes your wingers way more outside. They don't cut inside nearly as effective. If you have your fullbacks on, I don't know if there's a big difference between mix and overlap here, honestly. I haven't messed with that too much. Obviously, inverted would mean your wingers basically never cut inside. But if your fullbacks were stay back, then again, your wings wouldn't cut inside too much. The space is out wide. They have no incentive to move in field. Actually, having them overlap means for the fullbacks to go wide, these wingers actually have to cut inside. So it pushes them way more in field. They get way more involved. Same thing with Neymar. If he's on getting behind, your wingers never have any space to move in field. There's somebody else occupying that. So having him drop off means these players actually get to get inside and get involved. So that's kind of the idea behind. It's kind of all focused on your right wing and left wing. They're forcing them in field. They're giving them space to not get in field by not getting into the spaces they would be getting in anyway. Same with the center forward. They'd be occupying the same space. How the attacking AI works in this game, even frustratingly on possession as your chance creation tactic. How the attacking AI works is just if somebody's occupying that space, they won't move into it. Period. So just having everybody kind of balanced means they're able to get into spaces half the time, and half the time they're occupying their basic space. So sometimes they'll cut inside or getting behind, or wherever the attack is leading, wherever the opposition is leaving a gap for them. But if you're having it just too aggressive, and same thing with the players in box tactic, if it's just too aggressive, they're trying to push into the same spaces, and because somebody else is already occupying it, you're not really getting any effectiveness from kind of the free form movement I want them to have. Obviously, at this stage of the year, everybody has 90-something plus attacking positioning for the stat anyway, so it's pretty effective. The types of players you want to use, obviously you can tell I like my explosive, good body type, dribbler type players. It does somewhat depend on what you're trying to do. Why did it save a chain? I'll have to go back to that. At the moment, I'm valuing kind of having one. Obviously, like well-rounded 90 plus stats for your center mids is great. I'm valuing having one great dribbler and one a little bit more defensive type dribbler. Bompaster's not great at like bursting into the box and getting opportunities like that, but she's great at maybe turning around and taking a step back towards her own half and then just doing a little move from there and then doing, using the incisive pass plus. So you've got one kind of holding the ball well, transitionary midfielder maybe, and you've got one more aggressive one. The wings, what I really value is just being able to hold on to the ball no matter what. They're missing maybe the passing play styles, but I can always just dribble into a good enough position to make the pass anyway. That's kind of the idea. And with their dribbling stats, they're basically never losing the ball. So the value that I have is no matter what the attack is, even if I'm not getting the highest value opportunity out of a potential, chance, I'm not going for the riskiest play. I'm always able to assess the situation, just do another dribble or two, and then generate a little bit of space, and then, take a deep breath and say, hey, what's going to be the opportunity here? Where am I moving to? Rather than going, I don't have the opportunity to dribble out of this. I'm going to get pressed. I have to take a riskier pass, or I have to take a shot or something. That will all depend on your playstyle. If you value the passes a little bit more, somebody with Tiki-Taka Plus can be great, or Incisive Pass Plus. If you want a little bit more of the explosiveness, maybe go for... Well, Sterling's right with the Quick Step Plus, but, if you want somebody a little bit faster, you can decide who you want to go with instead. Butra might be slightly better than my two wingers at running forward and going directly to goal with his shooting traits and all of that, but I value, rather than going directly to goal, being able to do, I'll accept getting caught up and having to do a skill move to get behind and create the space again. That's kind of the idea with Neymar. A lot of people are like, I'll just play Sorloth at striker, and so any opportunity he gets, he will be faster and be able to get his chance, and I'm like, that's fine, I guess, if you want to play that way. I will always just rather do a Ronaldo chop, cut it back, do a second one, do a third one. You can keep catching up to me over and over again. I will just do a skill move behind you and then keep running forward anyway. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for, but if you have any comments about types of players you're looking to use, depending on your playstyle, definitely let me know. I'd be curious on just seeing how any of you would kind of be interested in using information like this, what types of players, and maybe I could kind of advise based on what I feel. If you're using X player, would I use maybe a different tactic, maybe get in behind or get into box for cross, or get into box for the center mids or not, that kind of thing. Beyond that, that's the end of the custom tactics video. I just wanted to give a quick thank you to everybody who's been leaving comments. That's actually been really nice. A small channel, I haven't been expecting to get anywhere near the views or anything that I've been getting, so I really do appreciate the feedback. It's a quick little channel update. I'm trying to do this as regularly as I can. The only ideas right now are just kind of random Division Rivals games. I might try to do some tutorials here and there. If you've got specific ideas on what, let me know. Or just general, like trying to do commentary over how I'm playing and why I'm doing specifically what I am. And then the Weekend League highlights and the qualifiers, montage-esque goals as I can. Doing my best to engage with all of the comments that I can, and that's been my favorite part, is just the feedback. I've been getting a lot of positivity there. People like how I play and how I'm presenting with the commentary. I do appreciate all that. And if you have any ideas on, again, like tutorials I can do or specific different types of content, definitely let me know. I'd be curious. I don't really have anything else I'm planning with the channel for now, other than I need to learn to make thumbnails and that kind of thing. But as I'm trying to grow and do this regularly and just kind of preparing up for EA FC 25, and hopefully I'll be able to continue this kind of thing with that. Just, I guess, growing as I can, and hopefully some of you will leave some feedback and see how I can make this a little bit better of a channel. Alrighty, at the end, thank you for watching, and I suppose for the first time I should ask, do subscribe, and definitely leave a comment if you're interested, if you're enjoying any of the content here, or if you got anything to let me know. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, y'all.